Let me tell you something. Everybody wants to shine. Everybody wants success. Everybody wants the lights, the fame, the lifestyle, but not everybody wants to grind. Not everybody wants to wake up when the rest of the world is sleeping. Not everybody wants to keep going when they're tired, when they're broke, when nobody believes in them. But I'm telling you this, if you want to shine forever, you got to grind now. You see, people want to be on top of the mountain, but they don't want to climb. You can't cheat the grind. You can't skip steps. You can't fake greatness. Every second you waste complaining, every minute you spend waiting for the right time, for the perfect opportunity, is a moment you could have been getting better. And let me be real with you. The grind don't care about your feeling. You're tired. So what? You had a rough childhood, so did millions of people. You broke, you hungry, your dreams seem impossible. Good, that's fuel, that's pressure, and pressure is what makes diamonds, but only if you don't quit. Only if you decide that your circumstances will never define you. You can't be average and want extraordinary. You can't be soft and expect hard results. You have to want it so bad that you'll go without sleep, without comfort, without applause. You got wanting more than you want to breathe. You got to be willing to give up what's good for what's great. I remember when I was homeless, eating out of trash cans, sleeping in abandoned buildings. No one saw me. No one clapped for me. I was invisible, but I made a decision. I would never go back. I would rise or I would die trying. In that mindset, that's what separates the good from the great. That's what separates the grinders from the quitters. You see someone shining and you think it happened overnight? No, you weren't there when they failed. You weren't there when they got rejected 100 times. You weren't there when they cried in silence, when they questioned if they were good enough. What you see now is the result of blood, sweat and tear, of early mornings and late nights, of saying no to distraction, yes to discipline. I'm talking to the one who feels like giving up right now. Don't. You are closer than you think. Most people quit in the valley, but what they don't realize is the valley is where growth happens. The valley is where champions are made. Everybody can smile on the mountaintop, but can you survive the valley? Can you survive the valley? Can you keep moving when nothing's going your way? I'm telling you, the storm doesn't last, but you gotta outlast the storm. That's the difference. The greats, they're not made when everything is perfect. They're made when everything is falling apart, and they keep moving forward. They grind when they have no strength left. They grind when the lights are off and no one is watching, because they know something the rest of the world forgot. You don't get what you wish for, you get what you work for. You get what you work for. You got to invest in yourself. You got to make sacrifices. Stop hanging with people who don't push you. Stop listening to voices that tell you to settle. You are not average. You are not here just to exist. You were built to conquer. You were built to lead. You were built to leave a legacy. Every single day you have a choice. Stay where you are or get better. Complain or create. Wait or work. You think champions wait for permission? No, they take action. They take control of their lives. They don't let fear stop them. They use it as fuel. Fear is a liar. Doubt is a thief. And comfort is the enemy of greatness. You say you want to shine, then grind. Grind like your life depends on it, because it does. Grind like your family's future depends on it, because it does. Grind like everything you ever wanted is on the other side of effort, because it is. You got to go all in. Not 50%, not 80%, not when you feel like it. All in, even when you're tired, even when you don't see results. Because guess what? The grind is not about instant gratification. The grind is about delayed reward. It's about planting seeds today and trusting that the harvest will come if you don't quit. You're not grinding for today. You're grinding for 10 years from now, for your kid, for your name, for your legacy. You're grinding so that one day you can stand up and say, I made it. I overcame. I didn't fold. I didn't quit. I earned this. Let the haters talk. Let the doubters doubt. You don't owe anything. You owe you. You owe the little version of yourself who believed in big dreams. You owe the future version of you who's waiting to shine. And the only way to get there, the only way to build that future is through relentless, consistent, no excuses grind. There's gonna be days when you don't feel like it. Do it anyway. There's gonna be moments when nobody believes in you. Believe in yourself. There's gonna be failures. Good. Learn from them. Get stronger. Grow. Keep swinging. Keep pushing. Because the one who keeps going, that's the one who wins. Life's gonna punch you in the face. Get back up. Life's gonna test your commitment. Stay locked in. The world may tell you to lower your standards. Raise them, set the tone, be the example. Be the one who said, I refuse to be average. I refuse to settle. I paid the price. I did the work. And now I shine. Because when you grind now, when you pay your dues, when you go the extra mile, when you do what others won't, you earn the right to shine forever. Not for a moment, not for a season, but forever. You earn the respect. You earn the freedom. You earn the impact. So the next time you feel tired, the next time you want to quit, the next time you question if it's worth it, remember this: grind now, shine forever. You got this. Now go earn it. Now listen to me. You didn't come this far to stop. You didn't go through everything you've been through just to quit when you're inches away from the breakthrough. There's something inside of you that's bigger than your fear, bigger than your pain, bigger than your pain, bigger than your payout. But you'll never tap into that power until you learn to push through when it's hard. This ain't just about motivation. This is about transformation. This is about becoming the kind of person who refuses to go back to average. You have to get to a place where average makes you sick, where comfort makes you restless, where you look in the mirror and say, I will never waste this gift again. You're not just working for money. You're not just working for success. You're working for meaning. You're working for purpose. You're working to build something that lasts long after you're gone. That's legacy. Legacy is built in the dark. Legacy is built in the lonely hours. Legacy is built when nobody sees the pain, the sacrifices, the grind, but you keep going anyway. Your grind, as a statement says, I don't need love. I don't need handouts. I don't need validation. I'm willing to outwork you. I'm willing to outlast you. I'm willing to show up every single day with hunger, with discipline, with fire, because let's be real, somebody out there is working while you're sleeping. Somebody out there is studying while you're scrolling. Somebody out there is training while you're making excuses. And one day, they'll get the results you wanted. The only question is, did you grind hard enough to compete with that? You were not created to just be a spectator in life. You were built to be a leader, built to be an example. When people see you, they should say, now that's what consistency looks like. That's what focus looks like. That's what no excuse hustle looks like. Let your actions speak. Let your work scream louder than your words. Let your grind do the talking. And I get it. Life ain't easy. You're going to lose people. You're going to hit walls. You're going to doubt yourself. But guess what? Pressure is proof that greatness is trying to break through. Don't run from it. Embrace it. Get stronger. Lean into it. When most people run from the fire, the grace walk through it. When you're tired, remember why you started. When you're frustrated, remember who's watching you. Your little brother, your mother, your future self. They're counting on you to finish what you started. You said you were going to do it. Now do it. Be about it. Stop waiting for perfect conditions. You'll be waiting your whole life. Success doesn't wait for you to feel ready. The time is now. The door is open, but you got to walk through it. You got to show up every single day with that dog mentality, that survivor's mindset, that relentless focus, and don't let failure scare you. Don't you dare, because failure is not the opposite of success. It's a part of it. You don't grow in the wins. You grow in the losses. You build character when things don't go your way and you still show up. You build greatness in the setbacks. So take every L and turn it into a lesson. Your grind is the blueprint to your future. Every rep, every step, every long night and early morning is building something. Even when you don't see it yet, you're planting seed now that will grow into greatness late. But only if you stay the course, only if you keep the faith, only if you grind without results, without recognition, without reassurance. The world is full of talkers. Be a doer. The world is full of wishers. Be a worker. Stop worrying about the timeline. Some people blow up at 20, some blow up at 50. Your time will come if you put in the work. If you build the habits, if you stay consistent when it's boring and stay locked in when it's hard. Let me tell you what real discipline is. Real discipline is doing what has to be done, even when it's no longer exciting. Anybody can grind when they're hyped up. But the one who wins is the one who grinds when nobody is clapping, when it's cold, when it's dark, when it hurts. That's the one who earns the right to shine forever. Because when you grind now, you build more than success. You build resilience. You build respect. You build the kind of character that can't be broken, that can't be bought, that can't be faked. And that's what the world respects. Realness, hard work, results. So I'm asking you right now, What are you willing to give up to get where you want to go? Are you willing to stop being average? Are you willing to stop being comfortable? Are you willing to step into the best version of yourself, even if it scares you? Because the truth is, you already have what it takes. You just need to decide. Decide that nothing will stop you. Decide that your goals matter more than your excuses. Decide that you will finish what you started. You want to shine forever, then grind with everything you got. Get up with purpose. Move with passion. Work like you're already the best in the world. And one day you will be. Grind now, shine forever. Ooh, still here? Good. That means you're built different. That means you're not just inspired. You're invested. And that's the mindset that separates the dreamers from the doers. Because let's be honest, motivation wears off. Discipline doesn't. This is the part where most people check out. This is where the crowd thins. Because they thought it was going to be quick. They thought success was on sale. Let me be clear with you right now. Success is never on discount. It's full price every single day. No shortcuts, no skipping the line, no cheat codes. You got to show up when it's hard. Show up when you're tired. Show up when nobody's watching. Champions are built in isolation. They grind in silence so the world can celebrate the noise of their results. You want to be legendary? That's the price. You want to make history? That's the weight. That's the responsibility. Legacy requires more. It requires discipline when nobody is watching. It requires sacrifice when nobody is clapping. It requires belief when nobody understands. Because most people, they'll only believe in you once you've made it. But the real ones, they believe in themselves before the world catches on. That's what you're doing every time you grind. You're telling world, I believe in me, even if no one else does. I believe in the future I haven't seen yet. That's vision. That's purpose. That's power. See, a lot of people want the outcome, but they don't want the pain that comes with the process. They want the body, but not the discipline. They want the business, but not the bankruptcy. They want the followers, but not the loneliness. Let me tell you something. The grind is lonely. The climb is hard, but the view is worth it. Because when you grind out, when you sweat, cry, and bleed in the shadows, you earn the right to shine in the light. Not for a day, not for a season, but for a lifetime. That's what we mean when we say a shine forever. But don't confuse the shine with just success. Shine is more than money. It's more than followers. Shine is peace. Shine is purpose. Shine is waking up every day knowing you gave it everything you had. It's knowing that when the curtain closes, you left it all on the stage. From the stage. The shine is when your kids look at you with pride. The shine is when the next generation eats from the seeds you plant. The shine is when your name still speaks, even after you're gone. But that only comes through grind. Not some of the time, all the time. Consistency is the secret weapon. You don't have to be the smartest. You don't have to be the most talented. But if you're the most consistent, you'll win because the grind don't lie. You put in the hours, it shows. You skip the shortcuts, it shows. You take the stairs, not the elevator, it shows. Maybe not today, maybe not this week. Okay, but one day the world's gonna look at you and say, yo, they earned that. And that's what this is really about. Earning it, earning your spot, earning your voice, earning your shine. So if you're still grinding, and I hope you are, I want you to understand something very clearly. You're not just working for today. You're working for every tomorrow you'll ever live. You're building habits, building identity, building something no storm can shake. This life, it doesn't reward the comfortable. It rewards the committed. You've come too far to be casual now. You've endured too much to be soft now. You're in this for something bigger, and I need you to lock in. Lock in on the vision. Lock in on the process. Lock in on the why. When the doubt creeps in, grind. When the fear shows up, grind. When the results slow down, grind. When the applause fades, grind. Because that grind is what's shaping you into someone unstoppable, into someone undeniable, into someone unforgettable. They can doubt you, they can mock you, they can mock you, they can ignore you. But when it's all said and done, they can't deny your results. That's what makes you dangerous. That's what makes you different. And that's why I know you're going to shine. So I'm done talking. Now it's your move. Turn the volume down, shut the door, get back to work. You know what it is. Grind now, shine forever. I want to talk directly to your soul right now because I know there's something in you, a voice, a fire, a purpose. And maybe you've been ignoring it. Maybe life knocked you down. Maybe people made you question your value. But I came here to remind you that greatness is still inside of you. It didn't disappear. It didn't die. It's just waiting on you to wake it up. You got something to build. You got something to prove, not to them, to you. You got a mission that won't let you sleep at night. A vision that keeps pulling at your chest. And no matter how tired you are, no matter how long the road, you keep getting back up because something inside you refuses to quit. That's not weakness. That's not obsession. That's destiny. You were never meant to blend in, never meant to shrink, never meant to walk in anyone else's shadow. You were born to be bold, born to lead, born to rise, born to leave a mark. And the only thing standing between you and that reality is your decision to go all in. Not halfway, not when it's easy, all in. You see, a lot of people are interested in success. They're curious. They like the idea of it. Man. But you're not interested. You're committed. There's a difference. Interest quits when it hurts. Commitment says, this pain is just part of the price. Commitment keeps moving when a dream looks distant. Commitment puts faith over fear. If you knew how powerful you really are, you wouldn't waste another second hesitating. You wouldn't second guess your worth. You wouldn't shrink to fit in. You rise and dominate. And listen, there's no perfect moment coming. This is it. This breath, this hour, this day. That's all you've got. And if you don't use it, someone else will. Life is a competition, and not against others, but against time, against your old self, against the version of you that settles. You don't get this moment back. You don't get this chance again. Every time you hesitate, the window gets smaller. And every time you grind, you expand your limits. So stop talking about what you're going to do. Stop dreaming about it and stop becoming it. Start embodying it. Wake up like you already are who you said you'd be. Move like it. Work like it. Think like it. You say you're a lion, then roar like one. Own your space. Walk into every room like you belong there. Not with arrogance, but with conviction. Like, yeah, I earned this. I bled for this. I sacrificed for this. You want freedom? Pay the price. You want legacy? Pay the price. You want the kind of life that can't be erased? Then you grind like your name is on the line. Because it is. This is not about hype. This is about habits. This is not about motivation. It's about your mindset. It's about who you're becoming through the pain, through the setbacks, through the grind. Because on the other side of grind is everything, the respect, the impact, the fulfillment, the legacy, the shine. And that shine, it ain't just for you, it's for everyone who's ever believed in you, everyone who's watching, everyone who needs permission to chase their dream. So when you rise, you give them permission to rise too. So I'll say it one final time, and I want you to ask this into your soul. Grind like you're running out of time. Grind like you're already the best. Grind until your weakness becomes your weapon. Grind's your weapon. Grind like the future depends on it, because it does. Grind now, shine forever. Now get up and finish what you started. You're still here. Good. Because that means you're serious. That means this ain't just hype to you. That means you're not just chasing motivation. You're chasing transformation. And let me be real with you. Motivation is temporary. It fades. But when you decide that the grind is who you are, not something you do, not something you borrow, that's when it gets permanent. That's when your life starts to change. Because the grind doesn't end. There's no finish line. You don't arrive, you become. The best version of you isn't a destination. It's a commitment. It's a daily decision to show up like a lion, even when the jungle's quiet. And don't confuse peace with comfort. Real peace is built on discipline. Real peace is knowing you put in the work. Real peace is walking through life with your head high. Not because you're perfect, but because you were persistent. You made the sacrifices. You skipped the shortcuts. You said no to average and yes to excellence. You lost friends. You outgrew habits. You outlasted critics. You buried doubt. You built a mindset brick by brick. And now you walk different. You breathe different. You move different. Because once you suffered for your dream, you protect it with your life. So now the question is simple. How will you carry it forward? Now that you've tasted the grind, now that you've survived the storms, how will you live? This is about legacy now. This is about the next chapter. This is about being the one that changed the family tree. The one who took the pain and turned it into power. The one who came from the bottom and still built something unshakable. You were called, not by accident, not by chance. There's a reason the dream keeps waking you up in the middle of the night. There's a reason you feel restless when you're not growing. That's your purpose talking to. That's your assignment trying to remind you who you really are. You were not born to be normal. You were not built to settle. You were not created to just clock in and check out. You were born to impact, to inspire, to build something eternal. And I need you to understand this clearly. The shine isn't about being seen. It's about being significant. Shine is when people remember your name, not because you were famous, but because you were faithful, because you would show them what commitment looked like, what leadership looked like, what love, strength, discipline, and honor look like every single day. Shine is when your work outlives you. Shine is when your name echoes in rooms you never stepped in. Shine is when your life becomes the blueprint for others to rise. And that's what you're building every time you show up tired, every time you push through fear, every time you say, not today, I don't quit today. You're not just grinding for success. You're grinding for impact. You're grinding for impact. You're grinding to wake others up. That's legacy. So now it's time to carry it forward. It's time to teach, to lead, to serve. It's time to speak life into the next generation. It's time to walk with humility, but grind with hunger. It's time to build something your kids will thank you for, something your future self will stand on. It's time to go from student to standing. Let them see you and say what it looks like to be all in. Not perfect, but focused. Not fearless, but fearless enough to keep going. Not lucky, but relentless. Grind now. Shine forever. Not just for you, but for everyone watching, everyone hoping, everyone praying that someone like you makes it so they can believe they can too. And when you finally stand in your moment, when the light finds you, when the crowd claps, when the doors open, when your name is called, you'll smile, not because it was easy, but because you earned every second of it. So get up, finish strong. And when the grind tries to break you, you tell it, I'm still here. I'm built for this, and I will shine forever. You made it to this point. After all the pain, all the resistance, all the nights you question yourself, you're still here. And I need you to hear me when I say this. That means something. That grind you chose is no longer just about success. It's no longer just about results. It's about responsibility. You've come too far to turn back now. And if you've been in this journey long enough, you know this isn't just physical. This is spiritual. This is a mental war. It's a battle between your future and your fears, your purpose and your past. But you didn't get this far to let fear win. You didn't come all this way just to taste the grind and never taste the glory. No, this is where you take the final step from motivated to unstoppable. See, in the beginning, the grind is about survival. It's about proving something to others, to yourself, to the world that doubted you. But at this point, if you've kept grinding, it's deeper than proving. You're not chasing applause anymore. You're chasing alignment. You're chasing alignment. You're chasing that moment when your actions match your calling. You're chasing becoming, because real success isn't just what you get. It's who you become on the journey. By now, you become someone different. You don't fold like you used to. You don't flinch like you used to. You don't listen to fear the way you used to. That's growth. That's spiritual muscle. That's grind maturity. But listen, this isn't the time to ease up, because the higher you climb, the harder the test. When you're average, the world leaves you alone. But when you're chosen, when you dare to go next level, that's when the pressure turns up. That's when the pressure turns up. The attacks increase. The resistance gets heavier. Not because you're weak, but because you're walking in power. The enemy doesn't chase people standing still. He only chases those who are moving forward. So if you're tired, if you're tested, if you're feeling that fire in your life, that's not a sign to stop. That's a sign you're on the right path. Because pressure is how diamonds are formed. Pressure is how legacy is forged. Pressure is the language of the chosen. And right now you're chosen. And right now you're chosen. So it's time to elevate your grind from personal gain to purposeful impact, from chasing goals to building generational legacy, because your grind is no longer just about you. It's about everyone who's watching you. Your little cousins, your children, your teammate, your student, your younger self, your teammates, your younger self, the people who haven't found their voice yet, but they hear yours and they start to believe. They see your grind and they start to move. You don't just shine for yourself, you shine to spark others. Let me be clear, your life is no longer just your own. Your habits, your standards, your character, it's contagious. You're not just making noise anymore. You're setting precedent, you're shaping culture. And that means your grind has to get sharper, cleaner, stronger, more focused than ever. Because what you tolerate now becomes a standard for the people following you. What you compromise on now becomes their excuse tomorrow. And you're not here to pass down excuses. You're here to pass down excellence. You're here to build a blueprint for what greatness looks like, even when life gets messy, even when it hurts, even when nobody claps. You're here to be consistent when inconsistency is the norm. That's legacy. You want to shine forever. You want your name to mean something long after you're gone. Then you live a life that makes people better. You become the kind of person who makes every room you walk into elevate. You make people stretch just by being present. You make others believe just by staying committed. But that kind of life, it's not built on comfort. It's built in the dark, in the early morning, in the late nights. It's built with discipline when nobody's watching. It's built with integrity when nobody's checking. That's the shine that lasts forever. See, you can fake a post, but you can't fake consistency. You can buy attention, but you can't buy character. You can get famous overnight, but legacy takes years. Legacy takes intentional living. It takes choosing purpose over preference, standards over shortcuts, faith over fear, every single day. And let me tell you something powerful. Legacy isn't about fame. It's about fruit. Legacy is when the seeds you plant today feed generations you'll never meet. Legacy is when your name carries weight in rooms you've never entered. Legacy is when your example outlives your presence. That's what you're grinding for now. So no more playing small. No more hiding your greatness to make others comfortable. No more shrinking when the moment gets big. You were born for this. You were built for impact. You were called to lead, called to rise. And now it's time to lock in on that mission like your life depends on it, because it does. You want generational change. Be the first one to break the chain. Be the one who ends the cycle. Be the one who refuses to hand down trauma and hands down to hands down to. Be the one who teaches discipline, resilience, vision, sacrifice, and yes, grind, because they don't teach this in school. They don't teach this in your job. They don't teach this in your comfort zone. This is warrior wisdom, and warriors are shaped in the fire. So when life turns up the heat, don't run. Level up. When it gets lonely, don't complain. Get laser focused. When the grind feels heavy, don't look for a way out. Deeper. Because everything you want is on the other side of one more rip, one more try, one more day of showing up when most people would have quit. And here's the part nobody wants to talk about. You're going to be misunderstood. You're going to be judged. People will call you a hunger obsession. They'll say you changed, and you did. You evolved. You outgrew small talk. You outgrew laziness. You outgrew excuses, and you refused to shrink again. That's the cost of growth. And you pay it with isolation, with focus, with grind. But let me remind you of something. Eagles don't fly and fly. The higher you go, the fewer people can breathe your air. But that's okay. You're not chasing company. You're chasing calling. And calling requires clarity. Clarity requires solitude. Solitude requires strength. And strength is what you've been building all along. You didn't just survive the grind. You didn't just survive the grind. You were sculpted by it. So now the only thing left to do is finish strong, finish with fire, finish with intention, finish with impact. Let the world see what it looks like to go all in and never fold. Let them see what it looks like to grind with purpose. Let them see what it looks like when someone refuses to let life steal their fire. You are not a product of your past. You are a reflection of your persistence. And from this point forward, everything you touch should carry the weight of your vision. Speak with conviction. Move with precision. So work with gratitude. Grind like your name is on the line, because it is. And when it's all said and done, when they talk about your legacy, they won't just me, your hustle, they'll mention your heart. They'll say, didn't just grind for themselves. They're grinding for all of us. And that's how you shine forever. Not because of what you got, but because of what you gave. Not because of what you built, but because of what you left behind. Not because of who you became, but because of who you inspire. Grind now in the shine. It'll echo through generations. It'll echo through generations. You thought it was over after 5 parts. No, this ain't something you can finish in 5 steps. This isn't a weekend mission. This is forever. And that's why I'm back here in front of you, because I know you've started something inside yourself that you can't shut off anymore. It's awake now. And now that it's awake, there's no going back to average. There's no going back to excuses. You're not that person anymore. You don't see life the same. You don't look at time the same. You don't walk the same, talk the same, or breathe the same. Because once you've tasted the discipline, the progress, the edge that comes from giving everything you got, average makes you sit. You're not chasing comfort anymore. You're chasing completion. This isn't about hype anymore. This is about the moment where your work becomes your worship, where your sacrifice becomes sacred, where you understand deep in your bones that the grind is not something you do temporarily. It's who you are forever. It's not a season. It's a system. It's not a trend. It's a truth. It's not motivation. It's identity. And now that you've accepted that, you're dangerous. You see, most people quit because they treat life like a sprint. They give everything for a few days, a few weeks, and then they collapse when results don't show up fast enough. But the real ones, the uncommon ones, they know this is a marathon of marathons. It's long, it's lonely, it's hard. And guess what? It's worth it. Because everything that truly lasts takes time, takes sweat, takes sacrifice. You want your legacy to last forever? Then your commitment has to last longer than your feeling. Let me say that again. Your commitment has to last longer than your feelings. Anybody can grind when they're hyped up. Anybody can push when everything's going their way, but it takes a warrior to keep grinding in silence, in pain, in setbacks, with no applause, with no comfort, with no promise, except that you'll become someone no one can break. And that's what this is now. Unbreakable character, unshakable identity, unstoppable pursuit. Because if you can keep grinding through heartbreak, through betrayal, through failure, through loneliness, you've already won. You've already outlasted 99% of the world. Most people want the reward. You want the refinement. Most people want comfort. You want clarity. Most people chase validation. You chase the voice in your soul telling you, we're not done yet. And no, we're not done. Because it's not just about achieving your dream. It's about expanding the dream for others. It's about where you unlocking the world around you by staying the course. You don't shine for attention. You shine so that others can see the path. You don't grind to impress. You grind to impact. You don't succeed to boast. You succeed to build. This is what I call divine hustle, the kind that's rooted in something deeper than material things. This is soul work. This is kingdom work. So View Punch's kingdom work. This is planting seeds that grow in people you may never meet. Let me ask you a question right now, and I want it to hit deep. What are you leaving behind? Because grinding forever doesn't mean you'll live forever. It means your impact will. It means your name carries weight long after your voice is gone. It means your story gets told by people who never met you because the way you lived made an impression on eternity. That's what you're grinding for now. Legacy isn't built in the limelight. It's built in the dirt, in the dark, in the discipline. It's built in those moments where everything tells you to stop and you refuse. Because the truth is, you've already suffered enough. You've already cried enough. You've already gone through enough trauma, loss, rejection, pain. You might as well win with it now. Don't waste the pain. Don't waste the lessons. Don't let the fire that almost killed you go out. Use it. Turn it into passion, into energy, into execution, into fuel, into power. You've already paid the price. Now go collect the crown. But let's get real. This isn't just about dreams anymore. It's about discipleship. You are now the standard. People are watching. Young lions are looking up to you. Not for your car, your money, your clothes, but for your focus, your consistency, your truth. And when you grind with honor, you give them hope. Every time you say a no to quitting, someone else says a yeah to believing. Every time you rise again, someone else remembers they can get back up too. Your courage multiplies. Your resilience multiplies. Your leadership multiplies. So when you don't feel like grinding anymore, remember, this is bigger than you. You're not just grinding for your goals. You're grinding for your bloodline. You're grinding for your last. You're grinding. You're grinding for your kid's kid. You're grinding so they never have to feel the fear you felt. You're grinding so they inherit mindset, not just money, because money fades, mentality stays. Leave a mindset of courage, of faith, of endurance, of drive, of purpose, of love, of honor. You got that inside of you. You've always had it. You just needed to activate it. And now that's active, you don't turn it off ever. You wake up with it. You walk with it. You bleed with it. You lead with it. You lead with it. You live with it. Grind now, shine forever is no longer just a motto. It's a movement, a mission, a lifestyle. So from this day forward, when it gets heavy, you live more. When it gets dark, you become the light. When it gets lonely, you remember who you are. When it gets painful, you lean in harder. Because pain isn't the enemy. Disobedience is. Disobedience to your calling. Disobedience to your gift. Disobedience to your legacy. You're too gifted to quit now. Too wise to shrink now. Too equipped to turn around now. You've been through the fire, and guess what? You're still standing. So now it's time to build a future. Not just one that's good for you, but one that's good through you. Let your name mean something. Let your life speak when you're no longer here. Let your grind be so consistent that God says, oh, well done. That's the final shine, the eternal shine. Not lights, not trophies, not applause. Purpose fulfilled, assignment completed, life poured out. Nothing left in the tank. That's what you're chasing now. So I dare you to make this decision today. I will never stop grinding. I will never stop growing. I will never stop growing. I will never stop glowing. I don't need the world to notice. I need the next generation to believe. I don't need the spotlight. I need the fire. I don't need a stage. I need a reason. I don't need a moment. I need forever. And that's exactly what you're walking into. Grind now, shine forever. For real. You want part 7? That means something click. That means you're not in this for hype anymore. You're in this for blood, for purpose, for legacy that won't die when you do. And that's the level most people never reach because most people are looking for the finish line. You're out here becoming the finish line. By now you understand you don't get stronger just from winning. You get stronger because you kept showing up after the loss, after the betrayal, after the day they tried to break you, after the voice in your head told you, you can't take this anymore. But you took it and you came back stronger. Every setback, you used it. Every scar, you wore it like a badge. You didn't let life bury you. You let it build you. That's rare. And the rarest thing in this world is someone who's all in on becoming exactly who they were born to be. No matter how long it takes, no matter what it costs. That's where you are now. You stop chasing moments. You stop chasing feeling. You stop relying on motivation to carry you. You build something deeper, something most people never tap into. You build conviction. You locked in so hard that quitting stopped being an option. Now it's not about whether you're going to make it. It's about how long you're going to keep leading once you do. You don't even want to prove them wrong anymore. You just want to prove yourself right. This part of the journey is quiet. Not many clap, not many cameras, just habits, just hours, just repetition. And this is the exact spot where people start thinking they're done. They hit one milestone, relax. Well, you know better. You felt the fire. You've seen the horizon. You know the grind is forever. You become addicted, not to results, but to discipline. Because results can lie, but discipline, that's mad. You either showed up or you did. You either did the work or you did. You either sacrificed or you stayed safe. There's no shortcut to forever. The only path is through it. So when people ask, how do you keep going? You tell them the truth. I'm not grinding for approval. I'm grinding because it's who I am now. I don't have to fake energy anymore. It's in my bones. I don't need to pretend I'm hungry. Hunger is all I know. It's deeper than dry, deeper than ambition. This is calling. That means you don't wait on support. You don't beg for permission. You don't stall because the weather's not perfect. You grind when you're overlooked. You grind when you're overworked. You grind when nobody believes, and you keep grinding when everybody claps because your standards don't shift with the season. They are fixed, and fixed standards produce forever results. Now it's about more than just building your own kingdom. Now it's about helping others rise too. True. Now it's not just a can I do it, it's how many can I pull to me? Because a true leader doesn't shine alone. A true leader ignites others. Your voice, your story, your grind, they're not just for you anymore. They're for the person still stuck at day one. They're for the kid who's afraid to believe in himself. They're for the version of you that didn't know survival was going to turn into purpose. You're proof, living proof. That consistency wins. That pain can be turned into power. That faith backed by work can change the bloodline. Let them sleep. Let them doubt. Let them laugh. Because while they rest, you're rising. While they stall, you're stacking. While they wish, you're working. And one day they'll ask how you did it. And your answer won't be fancy. It'll be quiet. It'll be steady. You'll look them dead in the eye and say, I never stopped. That's the difference. So you didn't stop when it hurt. You didn't stop when it got quiet. You didn't stop when you outgrew the people around you. You just kept building, kept praying, kept sharpening, kept showing up, kept going, kept grinding. And now you don't shine because of what you achieved. You shine because of what you overcame, because of what you refused to quit on, because of what you became through the pressure. And that kind of shine, That's forever. Let me know if you like this added to the full collection or formatted into a live performance script, voiceover, or social content series. You're building something massive, a mindset, a brand, a belief system, and it's just getting started. Ready for part 8? This is beyond hype. Beyond speeches, beyond hype, beyond speeches, beyond slogans. This is not about your code, the way you live, the way you move, the way you show up in every room, every task, every fight, like it's life or death. Because it is. Every choice either brings you closer to your calling or pushes you further into regret. Every second is a test, and you've learned how to pass the test even when nobody's watching. You build something inside you know storm can shake. It's not about the pain anymore, because pain doesn't scare you. You've been through enough to know pain is just a signpost, a reminder that you're alive, a reminder that you're getting stretched, a reminder that you're growing. You've learned to stop fearing pain and start using it. Because what most people run from, you've learned to run toward. You've mastered the art of pressure. While they complain, you compress. While they flinch, you focus. While they fold, you fight. That's what separates you now. That's what makes you different. That's what makes you rare. You didn't build this version of you in the spotlight. You built it in the shadows, in the gym alone, on the track alone, in the study hall alone, in the factory, the kitchen, the corner, the basement, long after others tapped out, when the lights went off, when the camera stopped rolling. You kept going, not for clout, not for validation, for destiny. That's why you shine, not because you want to be seen, but because you refuse to be stopped. You come to understand something powerful. The grind doesn't get easier. You just get harder. The challenges don't go away. You just grow bigger than them. And now the same pressure that used to break you, it builds you, shapes you, sharpens you. You've realized the truth. The ones who make it to the top aren't the most gifted. They're the most consistent, the most disciplined, the most dangerous in silence. The ones who are willing to die to themselves to give birth to something greater. And you've already buried the lazy version of you, the insecure version, the distracted version, the people-pleasing version. Gone, there, finished. Now you walk with intent. You walk like someone on a mission. Because you're not looking for opportunities. You're creating them. You're not begging for doors to open. You're building your own. And if they lock it, you don't knock, you kick it down. Why? Because you finally believe it, not just in your head, but in your spirit. You finally believe that you were born for this, that your grind has meaning, that your fight has purpose, that your story has power. You're not chasing dreams anymore. You're fulfilling destiny. You've made the shift. That mental switch where your why got louder than your excuses, where your standards got louder than your cravings, where your identity became unshakable. And now you're the one people look at and say, how do they do it? But they don't see the layers, the years, the missed parties, the early mornings, the broken nights, the tears that dried on your pillow because you still had to wake up and go again. They don't see the struggle. They only see the results, but you know better. You know the shine is expensive and you paid for it in full. So what now? Now you go higher. Now you go deeper. Now you go wider. You start building beyond yourself. You mentor, you lead, you teach, you invest, you serve. Because shining forever isn't just about you glowing. It's about lighting torches in other people. It's about multiplying your fire so the flame never dies. You build a legacy that speaks long after you've gone quiet. A name that opens doors long after your voice has faded. A standard that commands respect without saying a word.